Hey there, how is everyone today? This is Alicia here at New VA Advice, where I offer business, marketing, and mindset coaching for virtual assistants to help them get out of overwhelm and create a business that they love. And today we have a wonderful free Q&A webinar around the topic of building your VA team. And I have with me a great expert panel. We're going to discuss these issues Q&A style. So I've sent you some information, you meaning the New VA Advice community, via email and in our private Facebook group, and I've asked you, what do you want to know about this topic? So if you are here and joining us live, feel free to comment, say hello, tell us where you are commenting from. If you are watching this recording, thank you for joining. So this Q&A is right for you if you are thinking of starting and building a successful team of virtual assistants. For example, I'm talking to you if you are a solo VA now and it's something that you're considering doing in the near future, or even if it's something further down the line and you're really wanting to know, well, how do I know if it's right for me? What are some of the steps in the process so I get an idea of what I'm looking at? And the ladies I have joining me today pooled their wonderful resources and experience over the years and have created a course to teach you just that. It will teach you how to successfully manage that entire process of creating a virtual assistant team. So that's what we're going to cover today. Like I said, it's Q&A style. We have questions that you've sent in, and please feel free to add them as well. George, thank you for joining. Marie, hi. Yes, thank you for letting me know where you're joining from. So let me first introduce our panel here and tell you about the wonderful ladies that we're going to have answering our questions today. So first we have Lisa. Lisa, if you just give you a little wave. I love that everyone can see who you are. Okay, awesome. So Lisa is the owner and manager of Augusta Virtual Assistants and launched her company in 2011. Her knowledge and experience in the real estate industry for 16 years attributes to the success of managing her team and assisting business owners with increasing their productivity. Next, we have Nanette. Give a little wave. There she is. Nanette is the owner of In Essence Virtual Assistants and began her company in 2013 while working a full-time job. In November of 2017, she left her full-time job and jumped into running her company full-time. She's in the beginning stages of hiring subcontractors, so she has a subcontractor now, and her goal is to bring on another as she grows her clientele. Then we have Tammy. Give us a wave. Hi, Tammy. Tammy is the owner at Tammy's Office Solutions. It's a multi-VA company that she's been running since 2008, and not only serves her clients, but also employs and empowers disabled professionals. Her disabled subcontractor professionals make over 75% of her workforce. Together, they've created a 3-person panel at VA to VA Mastermind, where they offer their perspective, experience, and research to all other virtual assistants who are in the process of building a multi-VA business through resources on their website, as well as their popular live online monthly chats, which are really great. If you've not attended those before, I highly encourage you to do so. So thank you, ladies, for joining me today. Is there anything that you want to add to what I said before we get started?
I think you did a great job, Alicia. For an overall summary, I think that was wonderful.
Yeah, we feel very important.
Well, you are.
We love helping all the other VAs and anybody building a team, and so we thought it was time to finally put it into a course that everybody could enjoy instead of just once a month giving our Q&A and having guests and things. So we thought this would be a good opportunity for some.
Yeah, it's perfect. I love how you've combined your experience and, like you said, your passion to help others and put it together in a course. I know when you first mentioned it to me quite some time ago, I was excited I knew that this is something that people need, and so I was excited to help share it so that more people knew that it was out there.
Well, we appreciate it very much. We appreciate you helping to share the word.
Of course. All right, so like I said, we have questions that have come in. So we're going to go through some things so that you know if this might be a right step for you as far as building a VA team, and then also things more specific to the course that the ladies have created so that you know that's the right choice for you to make this happen. Okay, so, all right, let's get started. So our first question was, what exactly does it mean to build and manage a team of virtual assistants? How would you define that?
That's a big question. But basically, I think a lot of us in the VA industry especially understand that sometimes we get overwhelmed. And so I think there's a difference between subcontracting, and we've talked about this before, subcontracting and building a team. And subcontracting is when you just, have that project or sometimes get overwhelmed with the amount of work you have and you subcontract for help. Building an actual team is that you purposely are actually building a team and to hopefully begin to work on your business, not in it, and scale your business so that you can help more clients and things of that nature. Ladies, anything else you want to add?
I would, yeah, exactly, that's exactly what it is. It's having your go-to people that you know handle a specific, have a specific skill set that you know you could go to at any time. And I always like to use the analogy of a contractor, whether it's painting or construction. They have a team of subcontractors that they rely on and go to all the time. So it's similar to that, only it's business.
And that's a great point in that, because some people, and Lisa, you can attest to this, build their teams purposely in the areas that they don't specialize in so that they can begin to help more clients in those areas as well. So there's different ways of doing it. And I think because the three of us come together, we have so many different ways of sharing what works best for you, not just one way.
So I like that. I think that you gave us a good idea of what it is and isn't, but the fact that you can have different variations of that, I think just proves, like we've said about this industry, there are different strokes for different folks, right? And different things work for different people. So there isn't necessarily one way to do it, but you need to pick the way that makes sense for you. So the next question is, how do you know if you're ready to move to this type of business model, or even if it's
Exactly.
If it's for you?
Right. My internet is a little bit, so you're kind of cutting out. But just to piggyback on what Tammy said, I did build my team with others that had skill sets that I wasn't necessarily familiar with, as well as adding a couple of team members that do specialize in the area I do, which is real estate, so that if I have overflow, then I can subcontract to those that have the same amount of experience or skill sets in that field and, service clients without telling them, no, we've reached a cap, let me refer you to someone else. So it worked well that way. The other skill sets that are offered that aren't real estate specific do still blend with real estate related businesses, and we can service clients that have non-real estate related needs.
And to answer your question about when do you know you start, for me, it's just becoming, getting to the point where I was getting a lot of clients, and I don't want to turn anyone away. And I realized that I had to offload some of the workload to take on more. That's the tipping point when I start looking at who's out there and who I can hire for skill sets. Not only skill sets that I don't have, but skill sets that I do have, but I just don't have the time myself to do it. So it's a fine line you have to determine. I know, wanting to keep the income to yourself seems like a smart idea. But then when you're not producing quality work because you're overworked and you're dropping the ball, that's the time to start thinking about bringing in a team. And you could think about that and say, well, maybe I'll just bring in a contractor, but really, do you want to do that? Because just like we tell our customers, it's long-term relationships is the best. They get to know each other, you know, work styles, you understand each other's needs. That applies to subcontractors too. Knowing them and knowing what they do lessens the stress on your part. You understand their work styles, you understand their commitment, and so it just takes away the stress for you.
I think and I think like Nanette's saying, and that's definitely how I think there's two ways to do it sometimes. Of course, there's probably a lot more, but I think we lost Lisa. Maybe she'll come back in. But I think like Nanette's saying, you get to overwhelm, you get too many clients, and you don't want to limit your business because you really do want it to grow and scale. But there's also the people who start out. I've seen a lot of VAs in the last couple of years who want to start out actually building teams. So they know that's their end game, you know what I mean? And that's how I was, and I knew because of my passion to help other disabled professionals, I knew that when I got enough work that I could share, that was what I was going to do. Of course, I didn't know what I know now, all the ins and outs. I mean, I've been in it 10 years, and I just finally feel like the last few years that, I think I got this a little bit, because just when you think you have it, there's something else. But there are those out there who actually know that this industry is booming, and they want to take advantage of that. They want their business to grow and scale and be, not just a solopreneur. But then there's others who just want to keep it as a solopreneur. So it really depends on the personality, if you can manage people, if you know you have that type of personality that can manage multiple things at one time.
That makes sense. I didn't want to cut anybody off in case somebody else had something to add. So if you do, please feel free to just stop me from talking. So the other thing that I hear from people is, okay, they might be listening to you right now thinking, this is sounding good. You're talking about something that I'm thinking of doing, but that idea of getting started seems very overwhelming. So what kind of things, and I know this is a big, broad question, but what kind of things should someone consider when starting this process?
I think they need to consider where they want to take their business. And they want to make sure that they have management skills, because managing a business as a solopreneur and managing a team and clients can be two different animals. So it's not that you have to have been in a management position necessarily. As women, we usually are innate in that with husbands and families. We manage finances, we manage schedules. But we want to make sure that we have confidence and abilities to manage a team of other individuals, spreading out clients, making sure that the clients are good fit with the team member and vice versa, and all of the aspects that go with managing a team of VAs. And we go through all of that in the course.
Just to add to that, I would really do an assessment, and write down what your skill sets are in terms of your management. I write down, like Lisa said, where you want to take your company, where you see yourself in 5 years. I write down, what your strengths and weaknesses are so you can work on it. I take courses on project management. I would take even a course on how to manage a team. I'm sure they're out there, and if not, that's a good VA classroom one. I just want to throw that in there. But those are the things that I'm doing now as I'm starting the process of building a team. But I'm also networking too. Getting on all these VA groups like yours, Alicia, and others, and talking to people and finding out their strengths and weaknesses, and people that you have at least personality in common, that you could get along with. Doing all of those things are going to help you to be successful.
That makes a lot of sense. And you're right, those are things you need to consider because I think sometimes people want to get into the, okay, what do I need to do first and get this moving? But you have to think about that background, that foundation to have, just like I talk about all the time, having a strong foundation to build your solo VA business. You need to do that with the team as well. So I'm glad that you brought those things up. So another piece that goes with that, people are asking about, business insurance or managing their taxes and how that differs when you have a team versus working on your own.
It does differ greatly because now you're responsible not just for yourself, but for a team as well. And depending on if you're working in the U.S., we can speak to that because we're in the U.S. And keep in mind, we always recommend consulting lawyers and tax accounting professional CPAs. So what we say is what we've done in our opinions, but we always recommend also being able to contact a professional as well. But in general, in the U.S., anybody who you subcontract that earns over $400 in the year, you have to provide a 1099 at the end of the year or by, in January. So you have to make sure that you keep good records. You have to have good systems in place, and you have to definitely make sure that you're getting those 1099s out or that your CPA is getting those out in time for your subcontractors and your team. So it does differ in that way, and you're more responsible. Like I know that even when I was a solopreneur, I felt like I wanted clients, I had to get clients, but I even feel that weight even more with the team because I want to make sure I have enough work for my team and those that I have on my team on a regular long-term basis. And so, you have to consider those things. And if that's something you want, I love it, and I love going after it and, bringing in the work for our team. But some people, that's not their thing. Some people, they don't want to be responsible for other people. And I'm not saying that my contractors aren't responsible for themselves. I'm not saying that at all. But if I have a long-term relationship with them and they're, actually on my team, I want to provide that work for them and help them in that way. Now, in regard to the U.S. also about taxes, there's a form that if you're contracting anyone outside of the U.S. that they have to fill out for you as well. And we give you all of this in the course. We give you sample forms. We give you sample contracts. I cannot tell you, we give you a workbook and it has tons and tons of resources for everybody that probably just the resources alone are worth the price right now, to be honest, because it would take you so long to find everything.
Right. There's a lot of templates, and that's half the battle, believe me, because when I was starting out, I was building a lot of this myself, and that's really time-consuming.
And even just learning all of that, and realizing, oh, wait a minute, I've got to think about this. And now in the U.S., we also have to think about some states charge tax on services now online. So you have to consider what states you're doing business with as well and what you have to do for those states. So there is a lot to it. There is. I'm not going to say it's easy or anything like that, but I'm saying for those of you who have that and have that drive and that passion and really want a business that will work for you and that you can scale and really build, this is, it's a great way to go. It really is.
And so what I'm hearing is you have to be ready to know that there's going to be a role change of sorts that's going to take place here, right? Because you have other people with responsibilities. And so your responsibilities because of that is going to shift in a number of ways. How you're tracking and processing things, how you're making sure those things are getting taken care of, how to bring on the right people, and then how to continually market and bring in clients so that that team is running smoothly.
You're absolutely right. And just to share really quickly, we have actually 6 sections that we go over. If I could just share that really quick. In our course, we talk about defining a multi-VA and building your team. We talk about creating the manual of operations, the project management system that you need, different ways to manage your team, and then marketing your team. So we don't leave you out there to dry. We talk about all those things and help you in every area of that. So we spend, 1 week on that. We have live Q&A, and so there's plenty of time to be able to get those questions answered and everything. I also noticed that some are asking Alicia about where to find VAs and interviewing. And I think the interviewing Lisa could really talk about and the background checks and stuff. I don't know if this is the area you want to go into, but I just saw that question. I thought that'd be a great one for Lisa.
Well, I was answering the attendees that we do go through that in depth on the course. We have targeted questions for you to ask prospective team members. We have links where you can get background checks done. All 3 of us have had an issue or 2 with a team member. We talk about that in our live HOAs. And if the attendees have not checked those out, you can go to our website, va2va.com, right? va2va.com. And we have a page that links you to our YouTube channel and past HOAs that we have conducted. And that's one of the subjects that we have discussed is how to vet your team members. But we go in depth with that in the course so that you're not floundering, wondering where to start or where to find quality VAs for your team and things like that.
Yes, and that's why I mentioned in the beginning, even I just put up the website there, va2va.com. If someone goes back and looks through your live chats, there's an enormous amount of knowledge and information there shared. So we've been touching on it a little, but I really want to talk about your course itself now. We've discussed a little bit about some of the key pieces in it, and you talked about resources, but give me an idea of the overall, what is the concept, and is it just, a workbook? Like, what is involved in this course? What's someone getting when they're signing up, and the good details?
Well, as I said, you will get a workbook full of tons of resources. You will have a presentation every week where we will walk you through each section that I, talked about in detail. So we really don't, we go through it all. And then even at the end of that section, each will meet once weekly. And at the end of that section, that week we offer Q&A, and we will make sure your questions are answered. So we definitely want to be there to support you in anything that you have during that time and any questions you have, as well as, we just want to help you be able to get your business up and running and be successful in it. So you guys want to add any more details, though, about it? We just have so much. It's hard to go over every detail. The onboarding processes, how to assign team members to clients. There's a lot, which project management.
Yeah, to start to marketing, it's like step by step. Each week, 6 weeks, we broke it out from, okay, now how to assess yourself, to how to vet, to how do you market, get your processes in order and the templates that go with that. And then once you're all set up and ready to roll and have a couple, say 1 or 2 people on board, how to go out and market. Because that's, once you have your team, you don't have any business, what are you going to do? So you have to learn how to market, and specifically for your team members as well as yourself. So we go through all of those steps, but in really deep, in depth that we could in our 1 hour HOAs that we do.
I mean, we even take you from transitioning, if you're a solopreneur, into a multi-BA company, you know, and we talk about how to hire, where to look for the BAs, and to build relationships so you can find that, about the, you know, tax, you know, things that we were discussing. We talk about creating checklists and talking about clients' needs and the team and how they best match and how to assess that and how they can work together, even with personalities, because we all know that's really important. Sometimes we go into depth about types of project management systems, types of manager you might be, and how you want to run that team. And, you know, we just talk about the different training to do with your team and meetings and how to be productive and to help your team be productive as well. Anything else you want to add, Lisa?
No, I mean, that's pretty comprehensive. I can't remember if you and Annette also mentioned pros and cons, you know, of building a team versus staying solo. There are those as well, and you have to consider those.
Absolutely. And then also how to introduce your team to your clients. You know, I mean, some people don't even tell a client in the beginning that they're using subcontractors. Personally, I always let mine know, but everybody works differently, you know, and as long as you're going to be, in the end, you're responsible for that. You have to have the insurance for your own business, but we also talk about insurance with subcontractors and things of that nature also. So you have to be covered, you know, when you assign that subcontractor to the client. And you have to decide, are you going to tell the client or are you not going to tell the client? And we go over, you know, just all of those things, as well as, like I said, lots of Q&A so that you're able to get all your, you know, questions answered.
We also even offer, Alicia, you know, every business should have an operations manual within their business of the processes that they use. But we also offer like a welcome packet for a team member that has a plethora of information, like all of the software programs that you use as a team, project management software that keeps everybody in the loop. You know, we as team owners have monthly team meetings with our team because, like me, I have team members that are in other states even. And I also have individual meetings with each of them on a weekly basis just to stay in touch with client work, individual client work, or maybe even a personal matter. I like to stay you know, in tune with where my team members are. So we talk about those aspects as well, having, you know, the ability to stay in touch with your team on a one-on-one level as a team, you know, on a team level. And that brings everybody together. When you work remotely, sometimes it can feel kind of isolating. So as a team, if you can bring everybody together on a regular basis, you know, depending on your team and how you want to run your business, it may be quarterly. But, you know, just bringing everybody together for even, you know, throwing ideas back and forth on marketing or how to build and things like that. It keeps everybody together and feeling like a team.
Absolutely. Now on Facebook, they have a whole new platform that you can use for that as well, that you can communicate as a team. You know how Facebook can feel more personal, and there's another resource now on Facebook that offers that too. So that even during the daily things that you run into, or if they're working on the same client, they can say, hey, are you having this trouble, or I'm having that trouble, you know, and it's just great to be able to join the team together and not allow them to feel alone out there.
So here's what I'm hearing, you know, as an outsider, because I didn't create the course, so I'm not in it like you guys are, but I'm hearing you're looking at the whole process step by step. of the pieces that one needs and where to start with this. They're going to get the resources to do so, as well as things like templates and software that you recommend using to make it easier. But then you're also walking them through it, so they're doing this, in a live version with you, where you're meeting with them regularly. And then there's Q&A. So as they're implementing, if there's a place where they're stuck or something, just isn't clicking for them, or if they want feedback, they can come to the Q&A sessions and get that information. Is that correct?
Yes, Alicia, that is. And there'll be a Q&A after every, weekly. We'll meet weekly on Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And at the end, there'll be about a 45-minute teaching period, and then there'll be 15, 20-minute Q&A session right afterwards. So yes, so there's plenty of time for it.
Okay, so right now, as of this recording that we're doing, this is a live course. And when does it start? People can sign up right now and get an early bird price, correct? So talk about that, and then when you actually start the live version of this course.
I was waiting for somebody else to chime in. I thought I was talking too much. So anyway, so great price right now. Yes, it won't be like this again. And right now it's only $249 for the 6 weeks, and for all three of us weekly, and for the workbook, everything, all the resources. So it's a great price. It starts, Nanette, tell me, September 20, whatever that Friday is.
September 28th is the first from 11 to 12. So each session, 6 weeks, is an hour. And it covers, each of those topics that we mentioned from beginning to end. So yeah.
Did we answer everything? I wasn't sure.
I feel like you answered the questions I have, and thank you, ladies, for also keeping up with the chat as we're going through here live. If there's anything that we're missing, people are asking about a replay of this, which we will all post, yes, but someone is asking about when they're attending those live sessions that you're having, are they going to be recorded and given to people who are attending or who have paid for the course?
Yes, they will. They will get those, because I know it's a lot of information, and sometimes if you can't hear it again, you just don't remember it all. And they'll also, have printout of, they'll get a digital copy of all of the presentations with note taking under it if they want to take notes as well, and they'll get that every week.
Wonderful. So this is good. I'm hoping that people got their questions answered about this whole concept of building a team, deciding if it's right for you. And I think that this is going to be a great resource to help you get through that process, to streamline it, to know that, okay, here's from point A to point Z, everything that I need to do that. These ladies are going to help you through. I love that there is an early bird price, and you're going to get to go through this live course with them. So please take advantage of that. We will share this replay. If there are other questions, comment, and we will find them and answer you. But I invite you to join. If this is something that you're considering, then please consider using their course as a fabulous resource to get you through this process and successfully build that team. If that is your dream, if it's your thing that you want to run this and make it hum and make money and help other people make money and then help your clients, which in turn is making them money, and feel good about this, then this course is going to help you create that for yourself and create the life that you want. And to me, it's all about loving what you do. And if you're listening to this thinking, that's something I could love, being in charge of this and watching it run and seeing everyone be happy in the process and my clients doing well, then I think that this is what you're looking for. It's super helpful. So thank you, ladies. Anything else that you want to add?
There's some questions about the price and Nanette, and about the website and what it's showing. I think that if you click on it, they're saying it's showing $4.99, but I think if you click on it to register, it comes up as the $249 price. But that's only, I didn't mention, that's only till Friday. We actually extended it for you guys, only for our special groups, to those who are with us. And so that'll be just till Friday, and then it goes into the regular pricing.
Yes, and
Anything else?
front page of the website will reflect that there's an early bird that's ending soon. But yes, if you do click into it, it does say that.
Could you hear that? Did you guys hear that? Okay, I'm sorry.
Other than that, you know, my thought is this: if you, I know myself. This is, I think, is very important because I'm trying to build my revenue source after not working full time anymore, and I know that I am only capable of doing so much on my own. So this is a good avenue for me personally to scale up, so that I could bring in more clients and bring the revenue to the point where I'm happy, and I'm not sitting in a desk and I'm not commuting anymore. So all those reasons alone is why I think this is a good course for anyone.
Did they have any more questions? I know there was questions about the price and then about Facebook. We do have a Facebook group right now called VA to VA Mastermind Live. So join us there. And we haven't discussed, but we might put up a private Facebook group too for those who do join us in the course. We'll have to talk about that. We just haven't gotten that far because we're just really starting with the course and everything and want to bring this to you guys.
Yes, and for those asking about that early bird price, so if you are this live version of this video anyway, and right now until August 31st, 2018, if you're watching this, the link that I'm sharing, which is newvaadvice.com/VA team build early, that will take you, I just tested it, it will take you to the proper link for the $249 price. I'm looking at that now, but of course, if you have any issues, comment and we'll get you taken care of.
Absolutely. Thank you for putting all that up, Alicia. We appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you all for joining me today. I'm hoping that this was beneficial for someone who's really thinking about doing this and helps you make a decision to move forward. So thank you all. Thank you, ladies, on our panel, and thank you, everyone, joining us. Whether you're joining live or watching the recording, we appreciate your time, and we will see you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.